Hello, we are Sourcerer, an app that helps users find reliable information related to things they may be encountering on social media. I'm Bryn Ballard, and I'm joined with Casey Miller, Jacob Hopkins, and Zach Freeman. Let's meet that team in a little bit more depth. Sorcerer is divided into two teams. We have a full stack development team, that would be me and Jacob, who handle things that are on the front end development, such as our mobile app, but also things in the back end, such as our AWS processes and our database. We also have a machine learning team. This is because Sorcerer uses AI technology to retrieve the sources and grade them and rank them so that the user can make sure that they're getting good information. That would be Casey and Zach. You'll learn a little bit more about this later. But let's get into a little bit more about what Sorcerer is. In this presentation, we'll take you through what Sorcerer is, show you it in action, tell you a little bit about the technologies we use to make it happen, and close up from there. So, what is Sorcerer? Sorcerer painlessly provides relevant information to users about content they encounter online, especially on social media platforms. That might seem a little bit vague at first. Don't worry, we're going to go over it. Imagine that you are a social media user. For a lot of you, this probably isn't very difficult to imagine. You are scrolling through your feed and you see a social media post. Maybe it's something you're not sure if you can trust. Is this information credible? Or maybe it's simply something you don't know a lot about and you'd like to learn more. This is where Sorcerer comes in. All you have to do is take a screenshot and we'll make sure you get sources quickly and make sure that they're reliable. However, we also want to make sure that our users are still using critical thinking. To that end, we provide you the original source, as well as things that can help you rank for yourself and decide for yourself if this is a source you can truly trust. Let's talk a little bit more about the next part of Sorcerer. How does it actually function? What does it return to you? What is a source? Well, it's going to be an article with a summary, but in addition to that, it's going to tell you things about the quality of the article. Is this biased? Is it correct? Is it well written? This helps our users to still engage with articles instead of just getting quick information. It's actually there to help you learn. All right, well, let's move on. After all, I'm sure everyone wants to see Sorcerer. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Jacob to show you how the app works.
Thank you, Bryn. I'm going to get into what is likely our most primary use case for the app, and that's actually when you're inside of a different app, like a social media. So in this example here, I have some sort of post that I might want to know more about. So I have a few options. I can either screenshot and share it to our app, or I can use our helpful control center icon to have it do that for us. So if I share this with our app, and as soon as it opens, it prompts the user to crop the image. This is so they can select the content that they're actually interested in. So if I go ahead and crop this down to just this text, as soon as I hit done, it's going to get sent to our backend and then our data pipeline to start gathering these sources and start generating these summaries and these ranking scores for those said sources. So we can see it here. We got three sources back, and we can see that they are classified by what topics. So it determined that these were based on health and medicine. So if we go ahead and take a look at these sources, we have a handful of helpful information here. We see the link to the original article, we have a quality score, and we have a summary of that article. And if we go ahead and look at the view breakdown of this quality score, we can see a few helpful details. We can see it gives a score based on the neutrality, the relevance, the writing style, and the truthfulness. And there's a few other options the user can do after they get these sources back. They can provide feedback, or if they want, they can generate more sources. So we can go ahead here and we can see that it's requesting more sources, and we got three more back. Maybe I want to give feedback on these sources. I can either thumbs up or thumbs down and give a reason for why this maybe wasn't the best. So like maybe it was biased or something. User has that option to submit feedback. Another thing the user can do is if they want to save this source for later to have on hand, they can add this to their reading list. And then if we go over and take a look at our reading list, I can see there's my source and all these other sources that I've saved previously. The user can do a few things like filter this list by when they've added it, the topic or the title of this information. But now I'm just going to move into our home pages. What happens if you just open the app without asking a question? and that's this page here. As we can see, you don't have to ask a question just through image upload. We can also just ask a text question directly through here. Um, and there's a few more helpful information about uh, prompting the user and telling the user, hey, this is how you can use your app. Like down here, we have suggested questions or how you can phrase questions to get good sources out, and the tutorial at the top right there. Another thing is we have a trending page. So this is all articles based on what users are frequently asking. And these are classified by different topics like science and business. So if we click science, we'll see the most trending science articles that users have been asking. Um, Another convenient feature is, of course, we have logging in. So you can actually take a look and see all the questions you've seen or that you've asked in the past. Go through them, revisit them, and then you can log in on different devices and see the same history there, which is all convenient. And that is it for our overview of our demo. And I'm going to hand it over to Zach.
Up next, we'll talk a bit about the technologies that we use to implement Sourcerer. So in the front end, we used Flutter. This is great for our full stack development team for developing across iOS and Android and web all at the same time. And then in the back end, we have a few different technologies we're using, such as AWS Amplify and Cognito for our authentication and authorization. And then we also have AWS RDS and S3 for data storage, such as storing the past prompts that users have looked up and the responses that they got. And then we also have some things for our web server, such as an EC2 instance, Nginx running, Unicorn, etc. And then in the data pipeline, we have quite a bit going on. So we're using Python to implement all of our machine learning. And then we use libraries such as PyTorch and then Flask. And then for our LLMs, we use Ollama models. So these are open source. And then for our scraping, we use SERP API. And all of this is wrapped up in a Docker container and then deployed to Google Cloud Run, which is very helpful because it scales up and down as needed based on the number of requests that we have coming through. So a little bit more about the data pipeline though. Right away, we start by classifying the topic and extracting keywords. This happens in parallel. And then once we have that, we can start to scrape sources from Google. And with all of this, we are using a blacklist, so we get the best sources back. And if it's politics, we might increase that blacklist depending on sources provided back. Once we get our sources, then we go into ranking and summarizing. So again, as you saw, each of those gets a score and things on like bias or writing style, and then also gives a few paragraphs on the summary for each article. And everything that you see in the purple color is a pre-trained LLM from Ollama, like I mentioned, and then the blue topic classification is implemented by us. So I'll end there and I'll pass it off to Casey now to wrap up the presentation.
Yeah, so what are the key takeaways that we want you to have? Sourcerer is an app that provides you curated resources for information that you want to learn more about. So maybe you're curious about something or confused about something. It lets you uh, do text prompting directly, or you can share images with text on them, and we'll still get those resources back for you. All the sources that you get back will be provided with quality scores and summaries, so you can know, how good a source is, how trustworthy it is, and so on. You can save sources for later. Maybe you want easy access to them, or you want to check out the full article later. And Sourcerer is powered by a fully optimized AI data pipeline. So that's what's doing all the magic behind the scenes, and doing all this work for you so that you don't have to go through the pain of manually finding this information yourself. Yeah, that's it for our presentation. Thank you.